connections and relationships play a pivotal role in our professional and personal lives. It is imperative to recognize the immense value that our networks hold. Today, we will delve into the power of building meaningful connections, nurturing relationships, and leveraging them to enhance our network. So let's embark on this journey together, exploring the secrets to unlocking the potential of our networks and maximizing our overall success. I warmly invite all our ORA-BN members who've been part of this session. And with this, I'll introduce the speaker for today, Mr. Gaurav Singhvi. Our business strategist, our speaker for the day, CA Gaurav VK Singhvi, a business strategist, serial entrepreneur, super angel investor, startup mentor, and a community creator. Gaurav's journey began from corporate world, transitioning into an angel investor, where he has mentored over 20 aspiring entrepreneurs and invested in 110 plus startups. Gaurav is the co-founder of We Found Circle, a global community of 10,200 plus angel investors, where he actively drives growth in the startup industry with over 120 plus successful investments. Gaurav has been consistently delivering incubation as well as innovation, apart from mentoring startups across the country, not just in tier 1 cities, but tier 2 and tier 3 as well. He has been living his commitment to make India a vibrant startup nation. At Avinya Ventures, a SEBI-regulated early-stage venture capital fund, he supports innovative startups and fosters an environment of cutting-edge solutions. His involvement with Invest.com, a tech-enabled platform, showcases his dedication to creating an inclusive technological ecosystem. With EvolveX Accelerator, he discovers and supports aspiring founders from the very beginning stage, empowering them and ensuring they have the opportunities at every stage of their startup journey. Gaurav is the National Director of Corporate Connections, CC, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, a global community of successful business entrepreneurs with 400 plus members in India. He's the Executive Director of BNI Greater Surat chapter, the fastest growing chapter in members count with 2,200 plus executive members in 1,340 regions and the fastest growing region in the world out of the 79 countries where BNI operates. Gaurav heads Gaurav Singhvi Ventures, a family office investment entity, which provides a funding platform for budding entrepreneurs for their startup ventures. He is also the founder of the Financial Supermarket, an India-focused 360-degree financial advisory group. Balancing his professional achievements, he prioritizes personal growth through reading, meditation, and globetrotting. His multifaceted contributions establish him not only an eminent figure, but also a true driving force, constantly pushing boundaries and creating positive change. With this, I warmly welcome our speaker for the day. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, Gaurav Bhai. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of takeaways and learnings for today's session. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rahul Bhai, for introducing. And good morning, everyone. I'm so very happy and excited to be part of this event, and so excited that, all school friends are now forming a business networking group where people will not just be meeting for businesses, but will be meeting for other purposes also, and they will be, really helping each other. So best wishes, number one. Now I wanted to start this conversation of mine with a story, which is, I think, if I will ask you, who's the God for war, or यदि मैं आपको हिंदी में ज्यादा बेहतर तरीके से पूछ पाऊं तो युद्ध के देवता कौन है? यदि आप में से कोई जवाब देना चाहे तो I just wanted to ask you that, mythology के अंदर, in the mythology, who's the God for war? If anybody can, in the chat box, if anybody wanted to reply. I think I'll start, that जो युद्ध के देवता हैं वो हैं, या रण के देवता हैं वो हैं, Indra. And Indra is known to be the person who's lord for war. And then what happens, what we do in our businesses, we write war room and that kind of a thing in our conference rooms and everything, because we wanted to say that we are in some kind of a war, in some kind of a competition, in some kind of a chaos, and we wanted to win. That's the constant thought process sometimes we live. तो उस जर्नी में कई बार हम जो बेसिक चीज होती है वी मिस ऑन दैट. सो जब इंद्र थे, इंद्र को किससे प्रेम हुआ? इंद्र को प्रेम हुआ लक्ष्मी से. अब आप लोगों में से बहुत सारे लोगों को मालूम है कि लक्ष्मी तो माँ लक्ष्मी हैं और उनको वो तो श्री हरि के साथ में हैं. अब श्री हरि कौन है? श्री हरि हैं रंग के रणभूमि, जैसे रणभूमि के देवता इंद्र हैं वैसे रंगभूमि के देवता नारायण है, श्री हरि है. तो लक्ष्मी उनके पास में गई. क्यों? क्योंकि रण जो है वो हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं है. हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है कोलैबोरेशन, को क्रिएशन, को एग्जिस्टेंस. एंड जो रंगभूमि है हमें उसमें एग्जिस्ट करना है. वी वांट टू एग्जिस्ट इन दैट रंगभूमि, नॉट इन दैट रणभूमि. So I wanted to start with that, because sometimes what happens whenever we talk about businesses, we just stuck our mind with that we have to live in a war, in a competition, we have to be better than somebody else. No. What I'm going to be talking about is not that. I want to talk to you today about a mutual coexistence. I want to talk to you today about a element of a celebration. How can we celebrate? How can we transform each other? How can we work with each other? How can we create a coexistence of everything, not and and creating a bigger purpose and a meaning in our own life? So friends, I will be now sharing my, just allow me for a minute. So with this, I wanted to start, I think the presentation is visible, Prakash ji. Hello, Rahul bhai, is the presentation visible? If anybody can tell me, it will be helpful that, the presentation is started.
Yeah, it's on, Gaurav bhai. Good to go.
So, individuals with larger and more diverse network found earning 4 times more. I think we all know that what is the importance of a networking. We all have, because I think most of the people in this group are the people who are accomplished, those who have got wonderful, life journey. And we have all found that if you have a large and a diverse group, then only you have an earning. I have never seen any wealthy person in my life who doesn't have the net. I have not seen a single person. I have seen that people, those who are wealthy, are people who are practically having a large network, are having a diverse network, and they are somebody who really wanted to make relationship for lifetime, not for a transaction or not for a benefit. So with that, when we talk of a networking, we only think of a people connecting people. And I wanted to bring one aspect here, which I think is a more important, is network is not about connecting people with people. It is about people with people. It is people with idea and people with opportunity. Because all the 3 things are important. You need to connect with the people. You need to connect with the ideas. You need to connect with an opportunity also. And today we are going to be talking about that. What are those nuances? How can you, because in my life journey, almost about being associated with 13 networking organizations, seen communities building, myself created multiple communities, and I've seen how they flourish. What are those 3 ingredients, which are helpful in increasing that? Before I start the entire, process of that, I want to talk to you about this, which is equally important. You are the average of the 5 people you spend time with. So whatever you are doing today, if you will reflect, you will find that the people to whom you are spending time in last 3 years, 4 years, there are some things which you have acquired. So supposingly you are in just a scale of a 10, I'm saying, if you are networking with the people, those who are in their life journey in 9 or 10, and you may be 8, eventually you will find that you become 9 and a 10. And if you are somebody who has who's at a 9 or 10, and you are doing a networking or a meeting people who are in their life at 8 or 7, eventually you'll find you will also be in that scale, you will come down. So when we are building network, the more important thing is, are we mindful of that? Are we being conscious of that what kind of a network are we building? So this is equally important as we are building network, that we need to be having a right set of people. And when we are bringing this kind of a group, then all the more important that we find that the people, those who are going to be surrounding us, are people who are elevating us. I think most of you must have heard this Dunbar number, which is a magical number. It says it's almost about 400 years before it has been decided, been coined, that there are 5 people which are your loved ones. There are 15 good friends, and there are 50 friends, and 150 meaningful relationships. Rest everything is acquaintances. In each one of our mobile phones, there are almost about 2,000, 3,000, 1,000, depending upon people to people, contact numbers. And sometimes we cherish that. Certainly, it's a matter of cherishing, but not that, because more important is that we need to have people who are those 15 people who are our great friends, and that 5 loved ones. Because I always say to people that whatever you do, if you don't have 5 people to whom you say jump, and if they don't jump off from a first or a second floor, and then after coming down they ask you, why did you told me, yaar tune bola kyun aisa? I think that is important in our life. And when we are cultivating relationship, when we are developing network, when we are developing friendship, we need to be equally important, thinking about it, that it's not only about knowing each other well, but it is knowing for a meaningful relationship. So my connection with networking, because I'd say it's a relevant thing, I wanted to just share with you that it's from a childhood, from at a age of almost about 10 or 11, I started my first network, which was a youth generation club, and it was my colony where we were residing, and we students created a youth generation club, and for about 6 or 7 years we run that. And then I become part of multiple networking organizations, and I have created multiple networking organizations. In that entire journey of my networking organization, fortunately, I have met some great people, and whatever I am today is a byproduct of those people. I'm completely a byproduct of that people. So every organization offers you something different. When people ask me, if I am part of one organization, should I be part of another organization? I always tell them that it's a certainly a coexistence. So one organization suffice the purpose of one. So supposingly, Rotary is a great organization, or Loins is a great organization for a social service. Maybe some other organization great for something else. So if you are coming out with a business networking organization for your own students, I think for a old boys association, I think that's a great idea, and that will also be very helpful for each one of you. So just wanted to bring that out. Now, when we are thinking of building a relationship, building a network, there need to be a right mindset, and I want to talk about that mindset. There are 4 things which I want to talk about. Don't keep score. People sometimes, because when I was talking about the mobile numbers, I was talking about that only because sometimes people think that it's something meaningful, that how many people I know. It's not that important. How many meaningful relationships you have is more important. So whenever you are building a network, keep in mind that it's not about scoring. It's all about having a meaningful relationship, having a deep relationship, having that 5 relationship, or that 50 relationship, or that 15 relationships, not about that 500 or 115 1,500 people. Second thing is very important, that you need to have a mission and strategy, because when we were chatting about this, you need to have a clarity of thought, that exactly why you are part of this network and what you wanted to achieve out of it. it should not be only a number driven. It should be a larger mission. It should be something which is fulfilling for you. It is the purpose of life. You should be you should always align yourself with that, because what I've learned in my life, that people pass through three journeys of life. Number one, when we start our career, we are a profit center. It is a 3P philosophy. We are just focusing on profit. And then second, whenever we become little more wealthy or well off, then we say, I am working for passion, and now my journey is only for a passion, and I work for my passion. Then the third stage come. Very few people can achieve that, but there are few fortunate who get that. Is a journey of purpose, and people start living their life of purpose. And I personally feel that anybody who can go to that level is the most beautiful level, that you are living life not for profit, not for passion. You are living your life for passion, for purpose. And when we are building network in that stage of life, I think we should be equally aligned to the larger purpose. We should have a strategy in place and build it before you need it. So if your purpose is to help people, educate, supposing everybody may be having, but building a large conglomerate or building a large company can also be a purpose. Employing 5,000 people or 500 people can also be a purpose. Educating 100 child can be a purpose. Providing food and shelter to the people can also be a purpose. And here it can be catalyst for change, or a people, those who can bring kind of change in each other's life, can also be a purpose. So you need to be very clear about it. Build it before you need it. Don't just go when you think that it is required. You need to do it. It works like a seeding. It works like a plantation, that you have to do it. You have to plant it, and then at the right time, because it's like a mango tree or a apple tree, where you plant it. Maybe for 2 years, 3 years, you don't get any fruit, but eventually you start getting that. And have a courage to ask. Sometimes what happens that when we are in a part of a network, we feel that if I will ask, if I will show my vulnerability, or if I will show that I need this, it will show my weakness. Never do that. Never do that, because then your relationships are not meaningful relationships. So when you are building network, need to keep all the four things in mind. That one, don't keep a score. Don't be in the rat race of knowing more people. That's not required. Maybe know only 15 people, but in a depth, or with a very, very, very clear purpose in your mind. Why are you doing that? And what kind of, are they elevating you in your life journey or not? Certainly, then, and when you have that kind of relationship, have a courage of asking that I am looking for this. Can you help me? It can be something personal. It can be something professional. It can be for a business. So that's something. Core ideas I wanted to share, before we go in a deeper level of processes, that how you build a network and all. There are 4 core ideas which I wanted to say. Approach networking as a transformational networking, not as a transaction. Don't do networking like a transactional networking. If you will do that, people will identify it, and they will never be able to go very long way with you, because people think that if you are a transactional mindset person, it's like a more of a mathematics. One of my mentor taught me, which is a very beautiful thing, and I wanted to share with you, that with all of you, that in any partnership, chemistry comes first, then the mathematics. And it also happens in the networking, that first you strike a common chord, first you strike a kind of a common link, a chemistry, and then eventually the mathematics get established. So don't approach the networking from a transactional point of view. Do it from a transformational point of view. Define your idea purposes, as I talked to you about earlier, this thing, that when you are building, how you are building, you need to have a clarity. I always ask one question to myself: if I'm doing something, why I'm doing? I ask every day this question. If I will say yes to something, I need to be knowing why I'm doing. I will not do it just to please somebody. That can also be a why. I'm not saying not, somebody to whom you respect, or somebody to whom you like. Certainly you would like to say them yes. But for the major things in my life, I always asking this question. So when I'm going in a networking event also, when I'm doing a networking also, I'm clearly defining that the purpose. And then when I'm talking of a purpose, it's not only numerological or numeric, numbers, this is a more important thing. Focus on give, get. I love to start the communication with any new person with a sentence called, how can I help? And the kind of relationship which you build because of that is very deeper. And always think of giving, and then don't do it like that I give, in 6 months I should get it. No, it doesn't work that way. Give, get. So there may be a 5 instances when you are giving and you may not be getting. Be thankful for that. Don't worry about it. In networking, the most important thing, you should be living in a giver's mindset. You should be completely in a giver's mindset where you are into a giving stage. If you wanted to, somebody comes to you, and I think that those, somebody asked me, who's the great networker? The person who gives most are the great networkers, because they are the people who are listening people's ask, and they are helping them in all of those. Follow up is the secret sort of network. So when you are very clear that there is a transformation networking, you're not doing a transactional networking, you have a purpose and a why in your mind. You have created a funnel test. You have created that, this is going to be working for me. This is not going to be working for me. I want to do networking with such kind of people. And this is my broader aspect. There can be a smaller groups within the larger group also. Sometimes people ask me that I'm in a room with 150 people, and all the 150 are not important. Certainly, they will never be. I told you the number of Dunbar, but there'll be a 15 people who are important for you, who can connect with your ideology, who can connect you with a larger purpose. And I think it's more important to be getting with along with them. And if you wanted to build a relationship, I will share a formula of follow up also. But today, at this moment, I wanted to share with you that we build relationship just because of we give the time in that. Any relationship you build in the life, it requires a follow-up, it requires a time. In a family relationship also, the cousin to whom we give more time, we are very close to, or anybody. That happens in networking also. If you want to build a relationship with those 5 people, 7 people, 10 people, you need to give time to them. And equally, you need to do a follow-up with them also. There's a process of networking, because I've gone, and I've created a coin, word called spin. So spin is strengthen your relationship before you need to get somewhere. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. Sometimes people are in a hurry when they enter in the room and they start, asking for that. Never do that. Be open to that. First, let's be in a stage of giving and create your relationship strength. If you don't have that, so if you don't have that currency of relationship, it's not going to be working. So I always ask people, do you have that currency of relationship? Because people say yes and no, not because how tempting your idea is. They say yes and no because they have that kind of a relationship with you, and you have that currency available. So people always need solid, trusted connections with other people. They don't want it to work just on a superficial, on just a on a surface. They don't want it to work. It is not what you know, but whom you know. And I've very closely seen in entire of our life, it's not important that what you know, whom you know. And networking is also all about that. That if you wanted to really grow in your life, if you wanted to go reach somewhere, there has to be a right person in your journey. Then networking is an art of giving. Again, because my entire emphasis of this entire communication is going to be not from the perspective what can you get, but from the perspective what can you give. And please help people achieving their goals. And if you have formed this group, also have a tendency of giving, just thought of giving. If anybody is asking anything, just start opening your network or give them that. So if you have this process of networking, I'm pretty sure you are going to be the person loved by people. Because it's not important that people feel you useful. I think it is more important that people feel you, that you are a person who can be loved, who has that kind of personal connect with them, that kind of a deeper relationship with them. There are few etiquettes which I wanted to talk about. Be genuine and authentic. Be a person who is completely an authentic person. If you are faking, it doesn't work. People who wanted to tell a story of somebody else and just wanted to relate that story with them, does not work. It's completely your own genuinity and authenticity which works. So whenever you are in this kind of a network, I will insist and will suggest that you should be completely genuine and authentic, whatever you are sharing. And people will certainly, I always say that you should be equal to your words. I am equal to my word. Whatever I say, I do that. Be a good listener. God has given us, this in the same proportion. God has given us 2 ears and one mouth to speak, and I think we should use it in that proportion only. We should be a person who should be listening more. If you will be having a habit of listening, then people will love to talk to you. They like to converse with them, with you. So in the networking, it's an important thing that you should be a listener rather than speaking more. Be helpful and supportive. Again, that point will come, because I don't want to miss on that, because whenever we talk of networking, it just comes, what I will get if I will give the time, what I will get. I wanted to come out of that mindset. I wanted to just be in a mindset that we build relationship to help people. We build relationship to elevate people. We build relationship, we build networks to create a kind of an environment where we can ask for help and support without thinking twice. Fourth, and the more important, is be consistent. If you wanted to really be building a great networking with the people, be consistent. Sometimes you are available, sometimes you are not available. That doesn't work. Maybe your time is not permitting, that's okay, but be in a consistency, be in some communication. I see a lot of people do not attend calls. That's something which is completely against networking, because you may be busy, but you will always have a basic courtesy to say somebody that I am busy, I will respond to you, I will reply to you. This is an integral and an important part of doing that. It is certainly, when we talk of a networking, it's not a net sit, net eat. Networking is all about network. You need to work on it. You need to be available for the person. You need to be working with that person closely. It's not only just that we together just sit and chat, or without any kind of a thing, or we just do a dinner together or a lunch. Sometimes people think that having a dinner together is the only form of networking. No, I don't feel like that. I personally feel that you need to go deeper in the relationship. Just by having a dinner with somebody doesn't make you close to somebody. It requires a much effort than that. So it's a network, so please work on that. Have you ever done that networking effort as a plant? I always say that you should have a networking calendar. You should have a networking calendar for your own self. Maybe this organization, any organization you are, because whatever we do in our businesses, how elevated we are, or how much better version we are, is just a byproduct of the right set of people, and how you get the right set of people. Because in every phase of your life, you are going to be getting some good person. Maybe in your own group, there may be a possibility that a school friend to whom you were never talking in the school times, today he may be the most relevant person for you in terms of communication, in terms of the purpose which you have defined. So plan it, create your own networking action plan. There should be a networking an app, I call it, and then there should be a networking action plan which you should be creating, that how I'm going to be doing that. Have you ever thought of preparing a list to whom you wanted to meet? Have you ever thought of that? Prepare your mat and wanted to, there are two sets of people. There are people to whom you have a number, but you don't have the relationship, or you don't have the very meaningful relationship with them. How you are going to be working on that? What is that one thing, one help that person needs, and how can you work on that? And second, the people to whom you don't know, but you want to meet and you wanted to create. So are you having awareness of that? There are very few people in my life I met, those who are really clear about these two lists. they personally feel that it's all a random thing. It doesn't work that way, friends. We meet people where we desire, and we work for it. We need to work for it. There are now multiple ways. When you create this kind of a network, this network is not only to work among yourself. It is working outside of that. So supporting some of your friend is knowing somebody, and you wanted to get connected to that person from last almost about 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. It will be a great opportunity to do so. But if you have not worked on it, it is not going to be working. So you need to be having two lists, but preparing on it. Update your networking plan regularly. You need to have a way, and I think sometimes it looks very methodological, but I personally feel that when you consciously think about it, it goes in your subconscious mind, and after a point of time it becomes natural. You need not to write it down or something like that. It becomes, yeah, initially you have to do it. You have to list out the people to whom but you don't have a very very night 2 p.m 2 a.m relationship kind of a thing. And I always say that it's not only the urgency or emergency we call people night 2 o'clock. Sometimes for having a great time also we can call people for night 2 o'clock. We wanted to celebrate, we wanted to have a fun. That also should be a relationship. So do you have that kind of a list? And second list is the people to whom I wanted to meet. They are the people for good for my business. They are the people who are good for my own individual purpose, where I want to reach. I wanted to really be interacting with them. So regularly update that list also, and work on that how have I got that kind of a connections or not. So this is whenever I go in a networking event, I sometimes see people exchanging cards very they have a objective of meeting more and more people and wanted to just do that. That is the very wrong thing. As a super connector, the most important thing is identify them. Go in the room, just be patient, give 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes, look around, identify your 5 people, identify your 7 people. Don't try to meet all the 150 people or 100 people or 50 people. Just spend your 3 hours or 4 hours, with 5 people or 7 people or 10 people. That will be good enough. Don't just jump with a visiting card, and practice a relationship. You should be having a little more homework with the person to whom you wanted to be really creating a connection. You need to have some common chord, or you can really create that. Now in a social media world, it's very easy to read about people. Supposingly you have gone in some event and you find some speaker who's speaking very good, and you feel that you wanted to really connect to them. The good idea is to just read about them, and if you have some facts, figures about them, if you recently know that they have something done good, and something that they have done this kind of a thing, then probably relating to them with that kind of a thing makes a lot of sense, and you can really strike that communication. And then when the right time comes, exchange your card, exchange your details. If you don't have a card and if you want to exchange a number, do it at the right time. Never be in hurry. Never be in hurry in asking number of people's number, or in a hurry of asking people's detail. That's not a great idea. So don't do that. How to turn your connections into contacts into connections. Attract the right people with a careful crafting, unique selling. You should be having a USP. You need to have a clear USP of that what you are offering. If you don't have that, practically people will, because people don't want to meet generalized people. People wanted to meet people who are specialized, those who have some unique ability and in your product, in your service. So always have that thing in your mind. Gain your most valuable customers. So so when you have a referrals from a networking partners, you need to always look at them giving you a next level of valuable customers. So you should always be thinking of that anybody who is my networking partner will eventually be adding my a great valuable customer to my network. That way, if you will start treating like that, it's going to be a little more powerful. I would say that don't be part of everything. It doesn't help. You should be choosing your events, your activities very wisely. I am not a strong propagator of doing 10 things. I'm a strong propagator of doing 1 or 2 or 3 things. That makes you more powerful than just be available 10 things or 15 things. avoid any behavior which can damage your reputation. Please be mindful of that. There may be something which is with you, which you identify. Please be mindful of that. That you should never be in a situation that your behavior makes somebody annoyed or somebody feel bad about that. This is the formula follow. When we talk about that, when we meet people 24/7/30, so the best way is to say thank you to somebody to whom you meet in next 24 hours. Whenever you meet somebody, say thank you to them in next 24 hours, and try to connect to them socially or by some other way in 77 days, next 7 days, by social media or by some other way, or by just calling that, we had that great conversation on that day. And, I just thought that, just wanted to say hi to you. Or even you can write a mail to somebody. If somebody is a very senior person and you don't find it right just to write, to call them, practically you write a mail to them and find a way to meet to them in next 30 days. If you really wanted to create that kind of a 24/7/30, so in 24 hours, say thank you to the person, or mention the kind of conversation you had in the meeting or in networking session. 7 days, connect at a higher level, maybe at a social media level, or at a deeper level where you are just exchanging. And never pitch a sales or a product in your first mail. It should never be like that. It should always be a 5-liner, 10-liner, just an introductory mail, where you just wanted to connect with people, don't wanted to just sell anything, because people don't like that, people don't love that. As I have mentioned earlier also, that once you don't have the relationship, you are not going to get it. So just knowing somebody or acquaintances is not going to be converting you something which you wanted to achieve in 30. Certainly try to meet a person in 30 days. If he or she is in your own in your own city, that's great. Or if you are traveling in next say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, please make a point that you can get a time from them to meet. The relationships can only be built if you meet people multiple times, because people take time to come close. It takes 2 to 3 meetings. Before that, no, very rarely people you can find that in a 1 meeting or in a 2 meeting people can close. Post networking formula, as I suggested you, that leverage social media platform. Always try to connect people on the LinkedIn. It's the best way. By that you can always keep a update of their postings, what they are doing, what are they up to, and all of that. And certainly, as I told you, that if you have got a number, then you can write a WhatsApp to them. If you've got a mail ID, write a mail to them and talk about your specific conversation which has happened. Very precise, very small, not to elaborate that. And connect back in 7 days. Just say hi, or maybe any which ways you wanted to do it. Don't bombard people with your existence. Don't do that you wanted to meet. That will not work. You need to be a little patient, and then give a 30 days time to and in 30 days time you should be meeting. Identify who is entering in your. Yeah, it's very important. There are 3 kind of people who are there in your room. Be mindful of that when we are identifying our 15 people or 5 people. Just check whether that person is an engine, because engine is somebody who's helping you achieving your purpose. Anchor is somebody who's deviating you or distracting you from achieving your purpose. And 3rd kind of people, which are most dangerous, are the people with anchor. They will create so much negativity around you that that will pull you down with a higher speed. So so please be a little more careful, because when we create networking organization, everybody is not fair. Everyone try to develop your relationship with 15 people, 20 people, or 25 people, more meaningful, deeper relationships. Living in your room, what am I doing when I feel most alive? These are the questions which you should always be asking. I ask these questions quite often. Who am I? And I want to, whenever I spend time with, whether I feel exhausted or I feel energetic. That's a most important thing, because you are starting a new network. Practically, there will be few people to whom you were meeting. There will be few people to whom you were not meeting. This applies to every room. This is not some specific room dependent, but you should be. What do I do forward in doing the most? So you should be asking these questions, and these questions really make you powerful about your understanding of the networking and about the room, because sometimes we become the part of the room and we just wanted to go with the flow. I would not do it like that. I wanted to really be little more program, or you wanted to really spend time. I want to be really clear, creating my purpose clear in my mind, and wanted to work with the people, those who are helping me in achieving my purpose, larger purpose of life. So I wanted to end this entire conversation. I think the question answer will be a more meaningful thing to ask this. Your financial capital is a byproduct of your network capital. So the more network capital you have, more meaningful relationships you have. Certainly, the byproduct is a financial capital. So thank you, everyone. Rahul.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gaurav. It was very insightful, interesting session that you had. I myself being a part of some about 10, 12 networking, organizations, but there's a lot of takeaways from what you've shared today. And, you've shared, that giving first is, I think, very important. Meeting about 5, 7 people when you're meeting in a room is also equally important, that you don't meet many people. At the same time, it's important that the chemistry builds first, and then you go on to the next level. So very insightful and informative. A lot of wisdom being shared by you. You've been there, done that. So adding a lot of value for our members over here. So not taking much time, I have a few questions being there. I'll just put it across to you so that there's clarity to it. So one of the questions is, one of the transformative ways I have observed as a person is a preconceived notion mindsets. How do people overcome that? There's a lot of people come with a preconceived notion. How do we change that? So what ways do we transform on that? So that's the question.
Yeah, so Rahul, first I wanted to tell you that doing networking, practicing it is a different thing, but when you have to say this and when you have to put it on the slides, it's very difficult. So that was the thing which I did. But when you are asking me about this, that people come with a preconceived notion, certainly people do. We also sometimes do. The only thing which we can do is to work on our own self rather than changing anybody. I don't think we can change anybody, or we can just be saying that. If we are clear about our purpose, if we are clear about the objective which we have, or the organization with which we have created the organization, and we are not distracted from that, I think whatever preconceived notion people are coming, eventually they will align to your larger goal. We need to be clear. Sometimes what happens that we get distracted by people's idea, by people's thoughts, and that creates little more chaos. So I would certainly say that follow your own purpose, follow those 5, 3, 4, whatever. So supposingly, if you have created a network and you have 3 defined things, that these are the 3 key takeaways that we wanted to work on. Just work on that. So somebody will come and will say, we should do a social also, we should do this also, let's go for a travel. That may not be aligning to your larger goal. Don't get trapped into that. And eventually, once you will not do that, and once you'll start saying no to that, or saying yes to the purpose only, they will fall in line. So I will work in a very different way. I will not say them, change yourself, or don't come with that preconceived mind. I'll just do one thing, that I will focus on my organization's key takeaways.
Super. So clarity of thought is important, I believe, from what you've said. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We have another question. Can you share an insight or success story from your own networking experiences that we can all learn from?
So there are so many stories. So I have got my biggest revel. I did not thought of sharing those materialistic numbers, but yeah, I want to talk to you about 2 stories. These are personal story of my life. Almost about 2 years before, one day my father called me and he told me that we need to meet this doctor in Bombay. And I was little worried about it, why he's saying so. Then we realized that my younger sister is you know is diagnosed with a cancer, and this is the doctor to whom we have to meet. I was traveling and I was driving a car at that time, and I just stopped and gave the car to my wife, and then thought that let me just immediately do. In 5 to 10 minutes, I put it in my network group. You'll not believe it was Saturday. I got the call from the person that there'll be somebody calling from the doctor's office. Please pick up the call. Then he will arrange your call with that. In 15 minutes, I got the appointment for Monday, first hour. And that appointment was almost about appointment where that person doesn't give appointment before 10 to 15 days. So that's a personal thing which has happened. Apart from that, my life's biggest win, so I've got 100x return in a company called Bharat Pay, was particularly just a byproduct of a networking. I met one person, then he introduced me to another person, then he introduced me to a third person, then fourth person. So if I go back in that value chain, that biggest win came from almost about a seventh link from the person to my, and again, he was my schoolmate. The person who connected me to that person in the seventh link was my schoolmate. So both the things have happened in personal life. Also, a lot of things have happened, and in so I have 1,000 stories, maybe, because as a network, I'm completely a byproduct of that only. So when you are a first generation entrepreneur, you don't have the capital, you have only the relationship capital to invest.
True. Well, I second that on what you say, probably. I think the dots connect at the right time, and at times we are surprised with the outcome that it brings, with the network that we have. Coming to the next question, how can I leverage online platforms and social media to enhance my networking efforts and connecting with relevant contacts?
So, one thing I wanted to clarify, that it's not a substitute of a physical networking. It is rather helping you to build your right network. Like, I meet a lot of times people, because when you have a lot of connections, when you have a 25-30,000 connections in a LinkedIn, people meet that you in an event and say, I am connected to you on a LinkedIn. That's really wonderful. That's really great. But if they come with something meaningful in that conversation, which relates to me in person, I think that will be more meaningful. So I wanted to leverage social media for that purpose, that if I have identified 20 people to whom I wanted to really meet closely, so I wanted to read about them. I wanted to see their blogs. I wanted to see what they are communicating. So whenever I get an opportunity to meet them, I need to have a right, relevant communication for them. It should not be that I get blank. I don't have any information. I was always saying that I wanted to meet you. I don't know how they, so I wanted to use a mix of both. I'm not a great fan of just ping people on the LinkedIn and just creating network. I'm not great of that. I'm reverse of that. I feel that make a list of people, 20 people to whom you wanted to get connected to, and then try to reach out to them on LinkedIn, try to reach out to them on social media and follow them, and then eventually see their YouTube videos, and then eventually build that. So certainly it's a great tool to leverage.
Super. I think it's important to do our homeworks before we go for the next meaningful conversations with them. Thank you. We have one more question that has come up in line with that, with the question that was being asked in the first question. Organizations take psychometric exercise and spend a whopping amount, but practically for a small company, it's not feasible. So how that metrics works there?
No, so just to be specific, are you are talking about the recruitment part, that they are doing a psychometric test for a recruitment? Was that the question?
Yeah. So I think we have Padmanabh Bosami online. Can you be unmuted, Padmanabh? I think if there's a direct question, there'll be more clarity to it.
Yeah, sure. Basically, what I was asking is, let's say when you come to a person and the person has some kind of preset mindset. So what organizations do is they spend a lot of amount in terms of changing their mindset behaviors, and they use psychometric exercise and stuff like that. Now, practically, if you fit in for a smaller company, it's too difficult for them to spend a whooping amount on an X person, or try to change their mindset or stuff like that. So where does that metrics fit in terms of if you're trying to change status? Because most of the times I've seen in businesses, people know that, okay, I'm doing my own business. I know what I'm doing. no matter
Got it.
what things are.
Got it. So I got your question. First, I will again say you can't change people, and don't put an effort in that. It's a wasteful exercise. Don't do that, because that's not the way. You should be again just focusing on your core values. You should be just focusing on your purpose. Just define that. You should be making it clear that this is an organization for these three things, and we wanted to always be emphasizing on that, because people will come with a lot of innovative ideas, lots and lots of innovative ideas. Whenever they see that 100 people are there, somebody wanted to sell goods, somebody wanted to do celebration, somebody wanted to do something else. That's not the way we should be working. So I would again say, don't invest your money or a time or anything to change people. We should just be doing one thing, that defining our core purpose clearly, our core values purposely, and just sticking to them. That's it. Because every organization will be different. Iska I don't know how much it will relate to, but I can tell you, in entire India, any hospital has a temple. All hospitals have a temple. Have you seen anybody going to a hospital for doing a worship? Nobody goes there. Why? Because there is a clear statement of a hospital that I offer a treatment. It is not, but because there was a temple doesn't mean that it allows that. And no hospital, even if they have a very beautiful temple, also they don't promote it. So why I'm saying that if that purpose and core value is defined, I think everything is going to be preset for you. So don't worry about it.
Super. Thank you, Gaurav. I think we have one more question that has come up. What are some common networking mistakes that we should be aware of and avoid as we build our professional connections?
Number one, don't bombard people with too many communication. This is not the right way. Second, don't try to be, selling something. Two things. One, sometimes I meet somebody, people try to immediately send you text, hello, you are not replying, I'm not waiting for your call. Don't do that. Take your times, like I told you, 24/7/30, 24/7/30, 24 hours. Just say thank you, a small note, acknowledging person's visit, meeting. That's all. In 7 days, connect them to LinkedIn, write a small note or something like that, and in 30 days, try to meet. That's the way built it. It's going to take time. So if you feel that today you met it, and you are lucky that tomorrow you can again meet that person and can build a relationship in 7 days, or in a 15 days you get some result, you are lucky for that, but doesn't happen that way. So so my suggestion would be taking so the mistake one we do is bombarding with our communication. And second, sale people. Try to sell, I am in this, look for that. No, if you don't have that relationship, people do not allow, and rather people don't like that. So that's the only two things I would suggest to do. And third, I think mistake I will not say, but I will say, be a giver. That's it. Be a giver. If you are a giver, people in your network, supposedly you are a professional network like this, somebody who really opens his contacts, people know he's the person. For any response, he will give one contact. He will try to help. Certainly people would love to connect with
you. Super. Thank you, Gaurav. We have two more questions. I hope that is answered, Amit Bhai, your questions. Super. So we have two more. Two questions. I think it is intertwined. Probably you can, give your answer to that. I already have a successful business. How can a network help me? So that being one. Second is closely related to that. I already have a network with people of my industry. How can joining another network help? Because I think most of us who are here in the group are second generation, third generation entrepreneurs as well. So how can that help them personally and their businesses?
So number one, every stage of life is totally different. So when you are successful businessman, you need a different kind of a connection. Every time the requirement of the room changes. When we were at an initial level, when we are one of the startups, we need a very different kind of people. When we become a mediocre firm, almost about a 50 to 100 crore kind of a turnover company, we need a very different kind of a connections. And at the same level, when we are crossing 100 crore, we need a very different kind of an experience and exposure. So that network also helps. Every stage, whatever you are stage, I personally feel Mukesh Ambani needs networking. Everybody needs networking. So that's the first thing, that whatever large business you have, you need networking, number one. It may be for organization purpose, it may be for individual purpose, because sometimes it's not only for organization, sometimes for individual. Because if I wanted to elevate, if I wanted to learn from people's mistake, how will I learn? Either I do the mistake and learn it, or I network with such kind of people or meet such kind of people, those who have made the mistake, and I learn from them. That don't do it, yeah. I've done it. And if 5 people are saying me, or 3 right people or successful people are saying it becomes clear that we should not be doing that. So that is so I think. And second question I missed, Rahul, if you can read again.
Yeah. So the second question, I already have a network with people of my industry. How can joining another network help? So they could be a part of the business network, the group. So if it is into casting business, so he's already a part of that casting business. How can joining another group of networking help?
Business networkings are of different types. Number one, whenever you are of the similar nature businesses, you only meet for 2 things. One, representing your issues with the government. You do a representation that GST, you have put a GST, this is there, this is not there. Number 2 is a best practices of your industry. You meet for the second purpose is what is new happening in our industry, what should we be learning, some technology coming or not coming. So when you are networking with your own industry people, only 2 major objectives. There can't be a third objective. Either, because primarily you are doing with networking with your own competitors. One, to represent the case at a larger level, maybe a state level, maybe a regional level, maybe a country level. Or second, learning from each other the best practices. Somebody is doing something, I'm using this raw material, why are you not using? I'm using this technology, why are you not using? And all of that. But you need people from other walks of life. You need people from other walks of life to learn, because somebody must have not created that large in your own industry, but in some other industry, somebody must have created something very large. And businesses are not machines. Businesses are much beyond that. And the ideas, how to keep people, how to retain people, how one person has a 40 years old working person working with him, or 30 years, somebody is working with him, and continuously improvising, not only working, only continuously improvising. There must be some secret sauce. There may be something which he is doing with his, people. So learning that, I think for me, whenever now I'm meeting people, I meet for these kind of things that, what is one thing, what makes your all employee team happy? One thing which you retain people, one good practice in your organization, one life or personal life things which you do, which makes your life happy. Supposingly somebody does that, and I wanted to take that, I wanted to borrow that, I wanted to really learn from him why his son and daughter are so successful, what one thing he has done in his career, or one thing he has done which practically has made the resulted into this kind of thing. It's not random. Nothing is random. Everything has a process. And if you go and write questions to the people, you will find that kind of a replies from.
So I think that was an interesting perspective, Gaurav, because I think our lives are short, and there's so much that needs to be done, with the knowledge that we have, with the connects that we have. I think with that process that you mentioned just right now, it makes a lot of sense to, and it may be a life transformative experience for someone.
Rahul, I 15 days before I met one commissioner of income tax, and his both son and daughter are IITians, and little is asking him anything. So very interesting thing he said me. He said me, Gaurav, in the childhood, entire childhood, I used to, Bhagavad Gita ke shlok suna ke hi sulata tha. One small thing he told me, and that small thing has resulted into something very different. Like, and that really, that I thought so meaningful, and are we really having that kind of a conversation? You may be of any religion. I'm not propagating any religion. I'm talking of that one good habit as a parent you inculcated in your kids, and they are today the byproduct of that one thing which you did constantly. So why not to borrow that today? And if you're not done, why not to do it?
Super. And that can be life transformative. Yes, so it's amazing. And the dots connect. So, and everyone who's here basically have been connected for at least 10, 12 years, those being a part of this platform. So I'm sure there is a lot of takeaways from your talks today. We thank you very much for being here with us today. I think, Gaurav, you need a big round of applause. Thank you so much for being here
Thank you,
today.
everyone.
And there's a lot of takeaways on a closing note. Gaurav, I want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude for your presence and insightful session. Your expertise and knowledge on the subject matter were truly inspiring and added immense value to the event. Your ability to engage the audience and deliver such a thought-provoking talk was truly remarkable. The way you shared your experiences and provided practical advice left a lasting impact on all attendees today. We are incredibly grateful for your time and dedication in preparing for the session. Your expertise and insights have undoubtedly enriched our understanding of the topic and will have a long-lasting influence on our future endeavors. So once again, thank you for your invaluable contribution and the success of ORA-BN's inaugural session. We hope to have the opportunity to collaborate with you again in the future, and we appreciate of giving back.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate. Thank you, Gaurav bhai.
Rahul bhai, I'll be going off because at 12:15 I have something else. So just allow me for.
So I think you set an example by giving first, and I've seen that, when I've met you in person, your always task is not about what you can get. It's about how you can. So in the first instance, for those who've been here, I think the first talk that we had that we want to have you as our speaker for the inaugural session, and there was not thinking about it, and you right away said yes. So that shows your willingness to give back to the society in whatever ways possible. Thank you so much, Gaurav bhai, for being here with us today.
Thank you, Rahul bhai, and thank you everyone for being there. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaurav bhai.
Thank you.
So I think we will now move on to Mr. Kailash Asher, who will take us to the insights.
I would now request my colleague, Mr. Kailash Asher, to take it forward from here. Thank you.
Just give me a moment, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see the screen? Hello.
Yes, Kailash bhai, we can see the screen.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So good afternoon, friends. Welcome to all to this second session of the inaugural meet that we are having today. I am Kailash Asher from the batch 1977. Friends, what a fantastic inaugural session we had, the first session, isn't it? I mean, his talk was so magnetic, I would say, and not just interesting, but informative, educative, and very useful also. Very inspiring, practical, easy to follow, rainbow of learnings we have had. I will just, repeat three takeaways that I have noted specially. And the first is GGG postulate: give, and get. Okay. If you have 4 G's, the last is get, the rest is give. Okay. Then second is what's in it for me. You have to graduate from there.
Sorry, there is no audio, please.
Sorry. Hello. Hello.
That's okay. You can carry on.
Yeah. So I say, okay, what's in it for me to what's in it for others, and the last but not the least is the graduating from profit to purpose. Friends, now I have the proud privilege of showcasing the salient features and benefits of the ORA-BN platform, a platform that will address all our needs, that will offer us immense opportunities to make a bigger difference or impact, not to just our life and work, but to others' life and work as well. Friends, we can create a win-win situation. Yeah, this is this ORA-BN number. Okay, so that is how you are identified. This number in the school was 111. The 1977 is the batch. The year that I left, and this is the house. I think everybody must be knowing that. And thanks for pointing that out. So for the benefit of all right. Friends, a networking platform of par excellence and an exclusive multidimensional networking platform is the ORA-BN. Today, world over, the fastest way of growing is networking. So we've rightly heard that if you want to grow your net worth, you need to network. So let's embark on a journey of understanding how to use such a powerful networking platform. Friends, we will have to go to the beginning. And what is that beginning? It's nothing but let's go back in time, the year when RKC was born. That is the year 1870. Now, friends, I just want you to imagine yourself being in that era in the year 1870. Okay. And in front of you is our first principal, Mr. Chester McNaughton, who is addressing you. And in his words, I quote, "Usefulness is a great thing. Live for others, think of others, slave for others, and never think of yourself." I unquote. Yes, friends, these are the words of Mr. Chester McNaughton, who has sowed the seed of giving mindset in the year 1870 itself, isn't it? And we say the leader is one who, does not think less of himself, but thinks of himself less. This is so evidently reflecting in this quote. So, friends, I think it's in our blood to give. So let's activate that, okay? And let's become Dena Bank, as we say. So you just heard an excellent speaker who has emphasized the value of giving. All right, we need to now demonstrate how we can give. So for this, after 153 years, okay, ORA-BN platform, a purpose-driven platform. Again, the purpose over here is very important. As the speaker said, we have to graduate from profit to purpose. And yes, this is a purpose-driven platform. So after 150 years, we have an exclusive platform for only and only RKCians. That is the binding thread, okay, for all of us. So what will happen on this platform is that we will be able to communicate, collaborate, coordinate, cooperate, and connect with each other. Yes, friends, communication being the sutradhar, the thread which is going to bind us. For what? To collaborate, to coordinate, to cooperate, and finally to connect. So communication is very important to forge a mutually beneficial alliance. And it's the oxygen that will keep alive any relationship. So please ensure that you use it effectively. We move on to now a journey of evolution and opportunity. Friends, as an individual, you are constantly evolving, isn't it? And with the opportunities that will come your way on this platform, you will be able to develop a very proactive mindset, skill set, and tool set. So we are going to have a transformational journey where all your needs will be fulfilled. Like, for example, your business need, your personal need, your research and development need, your societal responsibility need, helping others, recruitment, talent search need, internship need, job search, career guidance for students, doctors and specialists need, product service providers, entrepreneurs, sales and marketing, and so on. Friends, this is a multi-dimensional platform. Even our speaker emphasized that it doesn't need to be just business, isn't it? So from profit to passion to purpose. And our purpose could be any of this. All right. Each one of us is a rich source of experience and knowledge, which we are here to share with each other. And we say sharing is caring, as always. So it's a never-ending purpose, friends. It's a never-ending, not just purpose, not just purpose, but it's a pursuit of, as we say, okay, GPS, that is growth, progress, and success. Friends, just thinking and doing it in the right way will make it happen for you. I assure you that. So on this platform, you are going to age that is always giving and evolving. Now, for the things to happen and help the members to make it happen, we have some fantastic tools and privileges. So we start with the first of the tool, that is the website. We have this www.orarajkot.com/ORA-BN, which is leading you to our website, where you can actually go create and edit your profiles, whether it is personal, professional information that you wish to share. You can search for a collaborator, partner, okay, with whom you wish to connect. Send messages to the person you want to connect with. It's a directory where you can search industry-wise and get what you want. You can showcase your products and services that you provide. You can showcase your awards, testimonials as well. And we have the email ID as ORA-BN at ORA-Rajkot.com. So just to give you a glimpse, as so you go to the menu and you go to this ORA Business Network, and then you straight away you can just log in from there. Okay. The next tool that we have is the WhatsApp group that has been created. Yes, friends, this is specifically for the ORA-BN members. Okay, the ORA members who have become Business Network members. Please post your requirements or any need or anything that you wish to give. Okay, but remember one thing: you follow the group discipline. Yes, friends, discipline we all know since we come from an institution like RKC. Okay, so discipline has always been in our blood, I would say, right? Though discipline is a small pain, but it gets you, long-term gains. All right. So discipline is very important. The third is the ORA-BN monthly meets. Today is the first of the meeting that we are having, and like this, every month we will have one meet, and mostly in the first week, and that to a weekend or something, which will be communicated to you well in advance. But what is important, friends, is that you need to participate, attend, and be on time. Even the speaker today said consistency. That is going to get you the results, friends. So consistency in terms of participation, attendance, and being on time. That's going to be very, very useful, friends. Then we have other meetings also. We will have online meets, which will be educational workshops or orientation. This will be purely to enhance your skills. And you are free to even, suggest to us what is the kind of skills that you look at for developing, and we will try to organize that. Finally, friends, last but not the least, we have the tool of ORA-BN annual conference with or without exhibition that can be decided later. But again, another must-attend event where it's very important that you attend these things. So these are some 5 very effective and useful tools which have been created for you to get success on this platform. Friends, you have to help us to help you, which means that we would love to have your feedback. We would love to have your suggestions for improvements and your queries, so that we are on a path of continual improvement and progress. We are all here. The whole ORA-BN core committee is here to not just clarify, but simplify, maximize, and multiply the benefits from this ORA-BN platform. Friends, in the end, I would say we are all stories. So just ensure that you make it a good one. Now, I will like to open the floor to question answers if anybody has. And yes, any questions? Hello.
So do we type the questions in the chat, or you want us to?
Either way is fine. It's
Yeah.
ideal
Yes.
if you type it into the chat and we can answer that.
Yeah.
Or if you would like to speak and ask the question also, let's do that. But let's make sure that we don't overlap.
Yeah, Kailash bhai, I have a
Haji.
question.
Follow. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
going forward, once this fraternity grows,
Yes.
are you going to be looking at some kind of a regional or a specific geographical play, or it would remain a homogeneous kind of
So maybe Chetan bhai, I can answer that for you.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, we will be looking at regional plays once the fraternity grows, because beyond a certain number, trying to manage everybody in together would be difficult. And like our earlier speaker Gaurav bhai mentioned,
Yeah.
meeting in person is critical, right? At this
Right.
point, we are a smaller number of about 50 people, so it's difficult to kind of try and get everybody together physically, which is why we are starting off with online sessions. But as the regional groups grow, we definitely plan to have regional meetups. We definitely plan to have in-person meetups. Kailash bhai just mentioned that there's going to be an annual conference that we are looking at, which would be in person, right? And where we would want everybody to take the time out and travel, because meeting each other in person is essential if you want to do good networking, right?
Makes
But
sense. No, I appreciate
understand
it.
that
Yeah.
every month traveling, right, for a meeting is not practical.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Hope
I
that
have a
answers your
question.
question, Chetan
Yes.
bhai.
Vikram Galoth has a question as to who are the core committee members. So,
Sure.
Chandramouli, can you go ahead?
Sure, Hiran bhai. Thanks for that. So, Vikram bhai, important question. Hiran bhai, right, is our vice president. Uh, Rahul Dangar, right, who started today's session, is our secretary. Kailash bhai, who is also doing the presentation right now, right, he's our director for these kind of programs and mentorship, right. One of the key aspect of this ORA-BN network is going to be these kind of mentoring sessions, upskilling sessions, where we get perspectives outside of the group that we have been in traditionally, right, and that helps us grow. So he's going to be there. In addition to these office holders, there are also an advisory committee, which includes Yogesh Advana, which includes Vinesh Bhai, Vijay Chauhan, Chetan Bhai, who's also in this group here in the session, Amit Bhai, who's also been quite helpful with all of the tech aspect of things, right? So these guys are in the advisory committee as such.
Chandramouli, can you just spell out who is the president?
Uh,
It's Chandramouli Pandya, okay,
yes.
who is the president, friends. So, needless to say, so he's really doing a fantastic job with the team. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay,
Yes,
any more queries?
very good job, I would say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Yogesh.
Yeah,
Any
I
more?
was just asking, are we going to do a mobile app or something, because that makes it very easy to access kind of thing, because
So at the moment, we are looking at focusing primarily on WhatsApp as being our methodology, right? The WhatsApp group that we had intentionally not kept it open for conversation yet, because we wanted to have this session, and we are going to send out one more round of communication that talks about how the etiquette of that WhatsApp group, and then we are going to throw that WhatsApp group open. Once the numbers grow a little bit, then we will look at more modalities in which that allows you to network. But at this point, we are looking at the website being one and the WhatsApp group being two primary means of communication and networking between the people. I would urge everybody to log in into their profile on the website and update their profiles. There is a field that is available for LinkedIn. So you can put in your LinkedIn profile. Either you put your own or you put in your company's LinkedIn profile, whichever you prefer, right? Update it. That's another way of people being able to connect with you, identify the space you are in, right? And grow the networking. Also, bearing in mind that we might not all want to share our email IDs or mobile numbers with everybody. The way the website is structured is in the profile. When you search for any profile, in the profile, you will see an option that says send message. When you click on that send message option, it will send an email to the other member. right? So this ensures that without exposing your personal details like your mobile numbers and email IDs, right, you are able to communicate with the members, and the member who has received the message can choose to then share their contact details with you, and you can then take it offline. But a first level of that anonymity, we are keeping it intentionally so that things cannot get misused. Worst case scenario, if somebody else accesses credentials and logs in, then they can't harvest personal details, right? So that as a security factor we have kept in. Also, I know traditionally we have been all males, but the newer generation has women also in it, so it kind of helps them too. And we have a lot of people who are in the newer generation who are showing interest of the fairer sex also. So we will have women joining the group soon, and since we will have that, a little bit of contact information anonymity was important. Does that answer your question?
There's one thing to add. We will be adding more features over time. Like I think we're going to provide. I think right now I'm not sure whether it's live right now, but you'll be able to upload 3 PDF documents. It could be your company profile. It could be your product brochure. Up to 3 documents. You should see them in your profile. You can upload them and people can download them. So that saves you, to learn not just what industry you work in, but something more about your company, your products, or your services.
Chandrabali, before we, end the session, I would like to urge, you see, today we are live on YouTube as well as we are live on Zoom. Now, each one of us has friends, Arcasians, who we think are capable of joining this network and capable of helping us out, capable of, like I roped in Vikram, and I'm sure Vikram is going to rope in a few more. And I would like all of us to make an effort, an active effort, in dropping in more of Arcasians in this group, because the wider we grow in this group, the wider will our power be, the bigger will be our influence circle. So this is very important for all of us, that we rope in more members. We are not, many people have, a lot of feedback that I get is, this is almost like BNI. This is not like BNI. We are not going to emulate BNI at the base level. We are going to be, we have a common thread, RKC being our common thread. Another thing is, Vikram very rightly told me, he said, why did our parents send us here? They sent us here in RKC so that we could have company of elite people, company of, very well-known, very good people. And if we are not going to leverage our background, our parents' efforts, it makes no sense. So my request to all of you, those who are on YouTube, please join us if you feel that this is going to work for you. And on Zoom, I don't have to emphasize this any further. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Kiran, you rightly put it, right? We are not BNI, right? We are not going to emulate BNI. We are a business network, definitely. But unlike just purely harping on business, the idea, like you rightly said, is to bring us together who already have a common thread, right? This is open only for Arcasians. This is not something that is commercial. This is not something that's open to everybody. And we have a lot of talent within us, right? So let's use and leverage that talent to grow all of us. I'm sure there is a lot of learning from everyone that we can gain, right? Every face every name that I see here, I know there is something that I can learn from them. And that's exactly what we want through ORA-BN, right? We want us to support each other, leverage each other, and grow together as a community and give back, right? Like Gaurav bhai said, let's give back first. So some of the initiatives through ORA-BN would be, providing support for students. I'm sure that each one of us, right, we feel that if we would have had the opportunity to connect with somebody in the industry before we passed out from our school, we would have had a much better thought process, much better perspective on what career direction to choose. A lot of us got lucky that we probably chose a line that was perfect for us, and we moved forward. There were many of us who tried a few different options before they found their calling in their career, right? And at times like that, it helps if you have an industry mentor guiding you. It helps if you have somebody with experience, giving back to you and letting you know that these are the options in the industry for you. This is what is available to you. And that's exactly, I hope that we all can be for existing students at RKC. And another initiative, the under ORA-BN that we have, is there are a few members of RKC who are in need, right? May not necessarily be in need of financial, but may be in need of support, and we can be that support, right? I had used a Sanskrit saying, right, in the emails that you all have received, which is that with a single friend, a man can conquer anything. And I am hoping that ORA-BN can be that friend for all of us in RKC. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? Otherwise,
I'd like to say a few words. Yeah.
Please.
Okay. This initiative of the Business Network has essentially been because we've had many of our members tell us that we want to connect. And some have also said that we would like to connect to give, and to connect in some business respects as well. And that's what we have actually tried to do. See, we're reaching out to people to connect on the business network in any case, but we are connecting a large number of ORA members on our own WhatsApp groups, we have people who are connecting on the network from international destinations as well, since they want to connect with business men in India to grow their business. As we all know, India is the only bright spot in the world right now in terms of economy, and this is one very good network. Since we know, most of us know people from our school days. Nothing better than knowing people from the school days. So I think we should try and get more and more people to participate in our network, and that will help us. And what Chandramouli and Hiren mentioned before, as well as Kailash, that we have to give back. The ORA has made a start of connecting people. ORA has also made a connect with the school, where the school will offer better rates for ORA members' children or their grandchildren to go and study in the school. So this is something we should, try and figure out how ORA-BN network members can give back to the school and give back to the other members in the network, or then friends in the network. So this is just a little which I wanted to say, and thank you all for connecting, and hopefully we will see this group grow in the days to come. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, friends. This is Q is where Q stands for quality of networking that we will do. Right. And that's all for now. And happy networking to all of you.
I think before we part, can we have a group picture of everyone who has been present here? Good memory. Everyone having the screens on, please.
But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So all of us can identify who is who with the names in it.
Yes. Okay, I'll go first then. Right. This is Chandramouli.
Yeah.
This is
Amit
Ashok Patel. Ashok Patel from Ahmedabad.
Chandra, I think you will have to unlock my video.
You can enable your video, Punit bhai.
Nope, it is not.
Okay, hold on, let me check.
Even mine is stuck.
Sorry, who is that?
Yogesh Mehta.
Ek minute.
Hello, I am Presh Bhayani. Hi, Dharmendra Verma from Dubai.
Hi, this is Puneet Kotak from Rajkot.
Bhupati Nathwani from Rajkot.
Yogesh Wadwana from Mumbai.
Hi guys, I'm Chetan Vyas from Baroda.
Hi guys, this is Ashok Patel. Hello.
Yes, Ashok bhai.
Ashok from Ahmedabad.
Yogesh bhai, you should be able to start off your video now.
This is Dr. Rajan Mehta from Rajkot.
Is anyone still remaining for the intro?
Yeah, this is Premal Vora. I'm not able to start my video, Chandramouli.
Okay, Premal bhai, try again now, please.
Okay, there we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Premal Vora from Mumbai.
Hi, Premal.
Hi, Ashok, Ashki.
Yeah, that's it.
Better known as Aski.
Now we know him. Now we know him more as AI now. He's not Ashoka, he's AI.
Okay. Okay. Hello, Yogesh bhai. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, hi guys. This is
Good you
Vikram
joined
here.
in.
Vikram from Ahmedabad.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, Vikram bhai.
From Ahmedabad. I'm Kunal from Ahmedabad, guys.
Chandramouli, can you put up my picture on the same main screen?
Ashok bhai, you are on main screen.
Okay.
My thing is somehow not coming in, huh?
Whoever speaks
anyway,
will
it doesn't
come onto the
matter.
main screen.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Very great of the team and very nice initiative. Thanks to all the people who have taken these efforts. Really nice. And I appreciate that. Thank you, all of you, those who are there.
I second that. I'm sure it must have been a lot of effort for Chandramouli and Rahul and
yes,
everybody.
Definitely.
But thank you for doing this. It's a great initiative.
Yeah, thank you. You guys had a good time, and now hope to see all of you guys again on the monthly meetings.
Sure. So 3 cheers for the team. Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Hip hip. Hooray.
Hooray. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.